Nyx Assassin's going to catch you, you relocate in. So it's this, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Do we split push? Do we grip up as 5? Do we mash into them head on? Or do we try and, build ourselves up a little bit slower? Now they give compLexity the Chessie Queen of Pain. That's a special for him. And it just adds even more firepower to this early game lineup from compLexity that I feel like Newbee, they've maybe got to take a step back a little bit here. Give how, I don't know how you feel about this, but I kind of want Newbee to give how maybe a greedier hero, maybe look towards the Slark that needs a little more ramp-up time, can fight early if he's really needed to, but needs to farm a little bit more.
I think Essence, the Essence shift against the Bristleback is amazing, and he does have a lot of magic damage against the Bristle, so this is a situation where I can see Slark working out effectively. He can also scout out when Nyx is invisible and on top of you. So there's a lot of different ways for them to approach this for a Newbee. Like you said, this is looking kind of weird for me now. Is compLexity going to run this Nyx as a support and then Bristle hard carry? Because then you'd be worried for compLexity, like, okay, well, we have to make sure we get all of our kills and all of our timings right, else we're going to potentially lose into the later game against Newbee, because they will pick up a hard carry in this situation that's going to beat you in the later game stages, and they're going to want to try and install until then.
I'm pretty sure at this point, like, there's the chance that, Z-Freak goes for the, 4-roll Nyx Assassin, maybe buys an Iron Talon and jungle or some, bullshit like that. But I think this is a Swindles off-lane Nyx, a safe lane or mid Bristle Wisp, and then the Queen Pain goes to the other lane. Then you're looking for the 5th and final support here for compLexity, which is going to be Z-Freak's hero. But Newbee go for the Weaver. And you're looking at this and you're thinking, well, there's one stun in compLexity, and that's not a single point-and-click stun. That's the Impale from Nyx, which is relatively difficult to land, especially onto a Shikuchi Weaver running yourself around.
You can spike air fist him easier though, like if you just Shikuchi on tight. But yeah, I get what you mean. It's really hard for Weaver to get shot down here, and you're gonna, in most situations, Queen of Pain still rushes Orchids, so that'll be one of the other good benefits of picking up the Queen of Pain versus Weaver. But and like you're saying, Rubik Band out there is kind of like saying Newbee, they're thinking, this is going to be, Nyx off lane and then them just kind of running at them. So this is a good situation now for Newbee to pick up a good mid hero, or
10 seconds remaining.
What's a good, I would like to see Batrider in the offlane. I think DP is a really good hero in this situation, but at the same time it could be blown up easily because of the Nyx Assassin. That's my only worry. Nyx plus Queen of Pain against DP could be worrisome, but they have a lot of heal potential with the DP, a lot of turnaround. The silence is incredible against all of these heroes, so I'm not sure what they want to do. They could go for a Faceless Void too. That is a hero that could crush Bristleback.
Honestly, the big question for me is where's the Doombringer? Because KP had used the Doom so effectively and so often at Epicenter and previously.
It's not that great. Oh,
you
nice.
call the Void. You call the Void. There we go. Straight out with it. So why not Doombringer? Continue your point.
Because I think Doom gets countered very effectively with the Wisp, because all you have to do is just relocate out, and with having a very mobile Nyx Assassin and Queen of Pain, there are ways for them to disengage in team fights and go around where the Newbee, they're kind of forced into the situation of where, like, oh, we have a Doom, and we have to make sure we get the Doom on the Bristleback, and then we have to make sure Batrider gets somebody else, or trying to cancel the Wisp. It's just kind of too all in. Whereas now the Faceless Void, you can set up for on 2 or 3, and then sure, Wisp has his relocate, but he can only save one person, so it's more of a guaranteed AoE kind of Doom, not in a sense, but compLexity now, they have to think, what do they want to do? I really think Nyx should be a support, and they should think going later into the game against Newbee. This might be, if compLexity don't end this game by like 30, 40 minutes, it just could be over because of their picks. But I've seen Queen of Pains in the past go carry build like AC and Daedalus, and they are that heavy hitter in the late game. So
with the new Bloodthorn, Queen of Pain can definitely transition. And I know the compLexity labs were talking about this before, especially with Queen of Pain and Invoker, going for that relatively early Orchid build, and then you transition really nicely into the crit and then the Bloodthorn. It's so good against all these heroes. But Slark, I thought maybe for Newbee, but compLexity pick it up themselves, and that rounds up the drafts for the two teams. final pick there, Ryu.
It assured me that compLexity is thinking the same way as I am. You have to go for a later game hero in this situation, but like we talked about, you actually mentioned it earlier too, Garrett. Slark versus the AA. If he gets that AA blast on you, it could be very tough for Slark to stay alive in these team fights. Also, Chrono can hurt the Slark tremendously in these situations. So compLexity, I like they pick the later game heroes in this situation, and they have a lot of kill potential around the maps. This game is going to be on the initiation of Newbee and the pick off potential from compLexity around the map. So whoever is going to win in those regards, I think is going to win this game.
10 seconds.
Alrighty then. Well, as the players get themselves into the game and pick up their heroes, looks like it's going to be off-lane face Void for KP. And Weaver for How towards the safe lane. Of course, moves Batrider. He's going to be sitting pretty towards the mid. Let's have a look. Oh, KP, look at that. He's got the mace. He's got the shiny new item. Oh, you lucky devil.
He's so rich being on Newbie, he just probably bought, a million levels.
No, mate, it's a gift from Ferrari_FF. It's a nice little gift there for KP, but let's have a look at all the other players. So we've got Moo on the Batrider going towards the mid, Kaka playing that Ancient Apparition. Z-Freak, the Nyx Assassin, has actually moved himself up towards the top lane, and he'll see the ward placed out by the AA up there. And Chuan's Lion, he's got his work cut out for him, needs to run himself around a little bit, but over towards the Radiant, Hanskin on the Wisp, and it will be Limp on the Queen of Pain, not Chessie. Because Swindles on the Bristleback and Chessie on the Slark, like you said, the kind of roll and draft switch up where they adapted as the draft progressed. They did need to change up a couple of their players on these heroes as well. You kind of expect when a Queen of Pain is picked up for Chessie to play it, because that has been one of his signature key heroes for compLexity for the past, year or so now. Well, maybe not a year. How long have compLexity had this roster, actually? It feels weird
like
saying,
a long time, yeah.
It feels weird saying a year, but it might be a...
Before then...
Because it was around the time of the defense. It was like just after the defense, I think. So that was like October, November. So 6 or 7 months, I guess, is how long they've had this roster here for compLexity. Runes are spawning. Oh, Cole, you've given up double bounties here to Newbee. Moo will get one and KP gets the other. That's not a good start for you.
Yeah, compLexity lineup. I think they disbanded and they didn't get to find the right pieces right after the TI. So yeah, it was like a 2-month window where compLexity were just trying out people and then decided to bring in all the Europeans. But
I tried out Vlad on his Winter Wyvern. I remember those days.
Yep.
Well, it's going to be dual offlane. Hanskin and Swindles, the Bristle Wisp. It will be dual offlane against a solo Faceless Void up here, while Newbee go for an aggressive tri-lane over their own. AA Lion and Weaver, and this is a deadly tri-lane if I've ever seen one. Limp on the Queen of Pain is going to have a rough time down here without a single defensive support, and already getting hammered a little bit here by Chuan and Kaka, forcing him away from the creep wave.
And he leveled up Shadow Strike. That's very concerning.
And not
he
Blink.
Leveled it up. That could be a miss skill because it's hard to find levels in these situations, and if they find a way to dive him, that could be first blood.
Well, Chessie is going to be taking up the Slark at the middle lane against this Batrider, and that's a pretty good matchup for them. Darkpack takes off all the stick and napalm charges. He's pretty good in the 1v1. And maybe could try and turn and kill, or maybe look for that pick-off towards the mid if they rotate in this Nyx Assassin. But they've given up so much in bottom lane. Just look at that. How is in there already, contesting the pull and pinching a couple of those creeps as well.
This is a good matchup for Slark in this situation. You just dark packed off the sticky and then you just go to town, and with having higher base damage, a lot of the times the Slark should be able to come out ahead in this situation. So it's a good one for the Slark to be in the mid lane, and I like this kind of change up where they're going to at least give Bristleback a really good time to get his fast Vanguard online. Now this does give KPI a lot of levels, and he should be able to help out around the map faster, whereas Queen of Pain, yeah, we're going to see it. Limp is just going to get shut down, and his team is going to have to carry him.
Completely zoned out. He doesn't stand a chance in hell here. I mean, Lion's walking around, blocking up camp, stopping the pulls. Chessie, what's he sitting at? 8-0 to the 7-1 of Moo is pretty good. Z-Freak misses out on the illusion rune. Chuan turns around, but the blink forward from Limp gets the Shadow Strike in, and Chuan's dropping incredibly low here. He can turn and hex and maybe try and get this. He's got the illusions. You're right, he maybe can try and deny himself here. Z-Freak, he's lining up the stun. He'll land it as well. There's the first blood down on the Lion. And compLexity, they get something for their troubles.
We didn't miss it, so we're excused for the next, 2-3 hours, whereas top lane, they're making that dive on KPI. He has time walk.
He's fine.
Nice.
KP is He's perfectly fine. That Faceless Void can't be touched. But, you know, when you talk about kind of counters to Faceless Void in lane, you think of Ursa, kind of heroes that can, you know, right-click or do these little instances of damage over time. Bristle's a similar hero, right? You stack up Cold Sprays, the stacks don't go when you time walk over, right? So you just keep on running at him.
Now the problem is once he gets level 4 though, the time dilation is the biggest counter to Invoker, and then I think the next one, or the same par, is Bristleback. You're just like, Bristleback is, that's how you counter it. It forces them, oh, Z-Freak.
And he's being hexed up and stunned as well. complexity will lose their Nix's stats in the bottom lane. Z-Freak got a little bit overzealous there with his movement forward.
Kind of space made for at least Limp to get some levels in this situation, maybe some CS. He's only sitting on 4 right now. Gonna get up to, oh, he has screen for that, and he's only got up to 6 here, and he's gonna force back to go back to base because he's out of mana. Not a good situation for him, but at least they were able to get him some levels, so a worthy sacrifice at the end of the day. They need all the help they can get, because a Queen of Pain level 2 for like at 5 minutes in the game, that would just be depressing.
That's the thing though, right? Because Limp is like on this kind of suicide lane. He is the off laner here. He's given up a lot, while Swindles is farming top, Chessie's farming mid. So Limp on the Queen of Pain has been kind of sacrificed a little bit just to get some levels and you know, some semblance of farm down on this bottom lane. Oh, Chuan with Kaka. They've got a haste rune down here, and Moo's going to come and pick this up with his empty bottle. I wonder where they go. Do you think Moo ganks with this, or does he just sit on his lane and make sure he's got that escape mechanism available?
I think once he gets level 6, we'll see if Moo wants to bring TP right now, because that'll be like a tall tale sign if he wants to rotate around. And no, it doesn't look like it.
Oh,
but
this is pretty good from complexity at top lane. They're trying to force KP to jump over the trees, where Z-Freak is actually waiting and biding his time, but KP, he decides just to do a little bit of a run around the tower. I'll ring around the rosy there. KP. He's still got his time walk as well, with the stick charges keeping him pumped up, full of HP and mana. And Z-Freak will just try and secure this angle of retreat, while Hanskin walks into the Faceless Void, burning through a little bit of his mana there with a burn. But Hanskin's dropping low, and with the Shikuchi forward, how's going to find the kill? The TP forward, Newbee find a kill there. Complexity again, a little bit over-aggressive, and with Moo actually sprinting forward with his haste rune and the Firefly, Z-Freak, he doesn't have Carapace. He's got stun and mana burn with the TP after the stun. Z-Freak might be able to get himself away. The burn is not enough, but a nice little move, swift and adept from Z-Freak, the man himself, to TP back to Fountain.
Yep. A great play from Moo, just sending out that TP as he got the haste rune, and then even greater play, just stunning him and TPing away. Coming out here from Z-Freak, what a player. And that's gonna, he's gonna live because of that. And Batrider just, he benefits so much from these pickoffs around the map early on, because that's just, you know, next step to his fast blink dagger. And then once they have the map control, it's going to be, you know, on the side of, you know, Newbee to just dominate this mid game. So these little kills start adding up.
They're thinking about going in on Limp here, but a very, very fast blink out will secure the safety. I didn't have the Chrono available, so I'm not sure that kill would have been forthcoming, actually, even with Chuan having the 2 points in stun and the 1 in Hex. They're setting up the top now. TPing up. Hao is ready on the tier 1, but he's being spammed out a little bit. AA is ready behind him as well. Oh, Chuan. Where is he going to? He's got himself a smoke available, but they've not been able to do these kind of nifty little smoke movements that Newbee love to do. They early on in the game, they really want to kind of address the enemy jungle, ward up, smoke in aggressively, look for a pick-off if they can. But it's all about the safe lane movements, but here they've got to safeguard this top lane because of how aggressively complexity are playing. They actually smoke up, but they're wobbling around. They're not looking forward to anything, they're actually walking back, but now they realize Swindles is alone. Oh, how he's scouted out. He knows there's no support. He knows that Swindles is alone with a cold feet into the stun, and there's lots of disables, and there's lots of damage as well. Newbee will clear up the captain of complexity, and with ease.
I'm surprised they're not even making this move on the mid lane. Yeah, that was Jesse, I think, gave one to Moo there. He had Hanskin behind him. Sure, there's Firefly, but you have your Sticky, you even have Bottle Arcane Rune. I mean, the reduced cooldown of that on Dark Pact, oh my goodness. It's just a situation where I think Batrider should have went down in the mid lane, just Jesse playing a little bit too safe with the Wisp behind him. But like you said, good setup there, and you can understand why this Ancient Apparition, he's maxing the Chilling Touch. These extra attacks synergize so well with the Weaver in these situations with the Geminate, and it puts out a tremendous amount of extra burst damage on top of anybody who's on the other side, and it helps out against that Bristleback since he's so tanky.
And here we see the adaptation again. Moo goes into the jungle to take out a couple of stacks. They're giving 6 over to Schwan as quickly as they can. Well, our Blink Dagger is coming up for the Bat Rider in 700 gold or so. But you just look at Hao's net worth right now. He is racing ahead with 3,700. Slarky's a scrape away, 3,100 there, but the Bristleback, he's got a decent amount of work to do. But this Bristle, it's all about that key timing. It's the critical mass of the mech. Once he gets that up and running, we'll see the Death Ball come through from compLexity. You just got to hope for them that AA doesn't hit his 6 before that happens. But Kaka already on level 5. And he's not far away from the Ice Blast, Ryu. He's getting closer to it.
Oh, he'll have it at level, or 10 minutes in the game too because of the tome. So this is looking very good for Newbee. It's also looking good for compLexity too because they were able to get that stack. But now they know it's here. How? He's just being very aggressive. They don't have any wards, but they know at this time, like normally stacks.
For this, Swindle's losing his armor, and Hao is diving deep. There's no HP regen, but the jump forward. Limp gets the speed, the jump there as well. How's going to clear up? Yep, he gets it, but the jump back.
Oh.
Where's he gone? Oh, he's hiding. He's gone. He's going to get pounced on. It doesn't latch onto him, and Hao will escape. Just about. Just about. That Sonic Wave was pretty beautiful out from Limp.
Oh, Hanskin, no.
But there wasn't enough damage. Oh god, Hanskin.
Oh,
Hanskin, that's not where you want to be, brother. That's not where you parked your car. Hal just clears up another one. That's a freebie for the Weaver, and now he's sitting at 4.7k net worth. Plenty of money.
And he's stealing the big ones.
And he's taking out the big black dragons as well. Dust is out. Jesse wants to pounce. Again, an inch away from catching compLexity. Luck is just not on their side today.
If he had just catched any of those, oh, meanwhile, dead heroes around the map. Z-Freak going on in the bottom lane, on level 4. Oh my!
Nice stuff.
Please avert your eyes. Top lane too, Limp. Gonna get a solo kill here. Kaka.
He's getting this right, Kaka. There's no way you can juke yourself away from this. TP into his... Oh, Limp just gives up. He can't see him. He doesn't know where he's gone. Kaka's out of there. Cheeky little devil.
He was probably like, oh, they have to rotate into this situation. Okay, Limp has enough mana. He's fine.
And meanwhile, Faceless Void is down in the bottom lane. Got his treads, his morbid mask. He is happy as Larry. 3,200 gold. He's not
He's
far
going
away
for this.
From...
He's gonna
Wait,
die.
are you kidding me? How are you? Nah, he's time-lapsing out. He's gone too deep. There's like 4 TPs in there from compLexity. They've got to safeguard at anyone they possibly can. But an Invis rune here from Chessie might be able to get themselves a kill on someone.
They need to start, grouping up, as you said. They have the mechanism online for Swindles here, and the name of the game is them going to have to group up. And like you said, he's scouting out from Chessie, trying to find a pickoff, but all of these heroes on Newbee, it's just hard to kill them. Even the Lion at times, if he just gets a Hex or an Impale, then he's just able to TP or run away. And Newbee's making this play here. This is looking pretty bad for compLexity.
The critical timing from compLexity was the mech on Swindles, but it's nowhere. Or is it coming out in the courier? Maybe. The Ice Blast is in. Hao jumps forward. They're smoked up here. KP looks to jump in with Moo's Blink Dagger available as well, and they should be able to catch at least one. Swindles. Oh, your mech. It's here. The Mango's ready as well to give himself some mana as well. Z-Freak turns back onto Hao to burn him up, but in comes Moo. Speaking of burning, that's the Firefly through. Swindles dropping low as well. A great Chrono lands onto compLexity as well, and Tessie can't do a damn thing. Watching his teammates die, Hao just runs rampant through them all. There's going to be a full 5-man wipe here as compLexity gets demolished off the bloody map.
That was painful to watch, guys. I'm not gonna lie. That Chrono coming in from KP, and it's just them having the superior levels. Nyx doesn't even have level 6, Wisp either, whereas both of Newbee's core or supports they do, and then KP, like he can just hit these amazing Chronos, and he had it with the Bat Rider on top too, which is dealing all this extra bonus damage from his Firefly. So everything was just set up perfectly from them, and they're still trying to defend this tower. I mean, they can now because Newbee don't have the ultimates, but they just lost so much, and taking a tower for 5 kills is not worth it.
It's 1-11 Ryu at this point. 12 minutes in. There's been a kill a minute, but the majority of them have belonged to Newbee. Ice Blast will flip onto Z-Freak, but Schwan was not available to get himself into range there for anything, but he will be soon. He's just sitting on 1700 gold. His Blink Dagger is closing in incredibly quickly here. But net worth-wise, that difference, it is ramping up very fast. About 6k or so net worth lead here for Newbee. About the same in experience. When you're looking at Moo, now Blink Dagger paid off. They've now got an AA with 800 gold in the bank. Weaver, Lincoln's Spear is too far away as he's jumped on up at top lane, but he turns to fight against Hanskin. The time dilation, the time lapse is gone, but How is losing a lot of his life here. Got no stick charges left. Oh, the last bit of the orb is going to fly through, and Hanskin clears up the kill. The unstoppable streak gives him 885 gold. And compLexity, they get something. As down at bottom lane, well, Schwan, he takes it straight back as he clears up Nyx Assassin, and that's the first kill of the game of Mystery U. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm gonna hang my head in shame.
It's fine. I was too busy looking at the top lane too because there was an AA blast distracting me as well. So it's not your fault. We're just gonna blame Kaka on this one.
Okay.
Why are you throwing out these blasts that I'm thinking might hit on Hanskin?
You blame Kaka, I'll blame you, and then all is right with the world, and everything will be fine. Moo is looking for the jump forward and lasso, but he's not in range of Swindles until he gets his sticky napalm down.
Oh, no,
now
he missed
Chrono,
Oh.
KP, you know what he was looking to
Yeah.
do. He wanted to catch the wisp as the tether relocate comes through, but Hanskin, good positioning, will save Swindles. Although he might give up his own life, I'm not sure. Jesse's running in, they're going to bring the Bristol back into this. Newbee's dropping incredibly low, the Sonic Wave kills them. There's the damage output. Oh, Ice Blast lands on 3! Catches them all, but Newbee, they are tanky, they have got a lot of damage, and they are just running through compLexity one by one. They're going to fall, and Swindles, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. He's trying to sprint himself away from this, but the British bastard, the Bristleback, he is dead to rights as the river was no safety for him.
This is looking very bad for compLexity. They're fighting these 4v5 fights.
Oh, Limp, no, not like this. Is there a hex? There's no hex.
Caught
So Limp,
two.
bash, damage. There's the blink. Limp gets himself away, but KP wants to keep on chasing. Jumps. And with the time dilation, there's no blink. It's on cooldown for a long ass time. It's being held and stopped by this faceless boy. He jumps forward and gets the hits in. And again, Newbee, they get so much, while compLexity gets so little.
It's just biting them in the butt right now where Slark, this last pick, he's just not been able to do anything because compLexity, sure, they read it right where Newbee went aggressive, but oh my, Bat Rider solo pick off there too on the Nyx. And in this situation, this is what's going to happen. Newbee are just going to go around the map and start killing you where it was supposed to be compLexity going around the map killing Newbee with their relocate, with their Nyx setup, but he just got level 6 at 14 minutes in the game. Or it's just not happening, and they're just snowballing too fast for the side of Newbee. Now they're going to take this top tower. How could be punished for this? But like we talked about, they only have that Nyx stun, so he can play this aggressive. They will get the deny, though.
And How? The Shikuchi's away. They're concerned about him coming back in, though, so they plumb the sentry down. He has been doing that a fair amount as How, just running in and out. But what's he sitting on now? 2100 gold? Lincoln Sphere is probably going to be his go-to now. Ryu, can you explain this belt of strength that How has in his inventory?
I was thinking about it for the longest time as we wait for this kill.
How? You sneaky little blighter, and he time lapses back to safety as well. compLexity is not going to catch him. It's too quick on the fingers, he is. Belt of strength, Ryu. Is it Basher? Is it Necro? Is it like we used to see?
It was
casual. Is
it
it
was
just casual belt
casual.
of strength? Yeah.
It was just casual for the strength because he's had it for a long time now, and I was looking at that, but there's been so much action from Newbee I wasn't able to really talk about it. I think it's just casual in the sense where he was just like, I want extra HP, or he might have misclicked right when he was going for those strength treads and actually clicked it again or something. I mean, there's no.
I don't think How misclicks, man.
Nah.
I'm just gonna say, a lot of people misclick, but How? I don't know.
Oh, the flame break, the cancel. Jesse's now screwed.
He's got his Dark Pact account in 2 seconds time, but Schwan, he has second thoughts about this one, while towards the river, Hanskin gets jumped as well, and compLexity, they are just being absolutely manhandled here.
They're
by
bullies.
the marauding heroes of Newbee.
Bullies. This is what we don't want to see in Dota. This is just, bullying. You gotta stop it. Come on, compLexity, stop the bully.
Give me your lunch money. Give me your bloody lunch money. And compLexity have they've got no recourse. You know, they've got nothing they can do about it. They can't go and whine to a teacher. They can't tell their parents because they're orphans. The teachers don't care because they're stealing money off them as well. They're the bullies on top of it all. And compLexity, they're just, you know, crying in a corner somewhere, wondering what the hell went wrong with this game.
Trying to figure it out myself here, and it's just a situation where they just got everything they wanted from Newbee. In all of the lanes, they basically won every single lane. KPI, a situation where all he needed to do was get his levels in the top lane. He did, and he got some more, and he didn't even die. It was impressive watching his performance in that top lane earlier on. So now compLexity are in this situation where we're like, okay, well, now we're forced to maybe go 50, 60 minutes against the Faceless Void Batrider.
Yeah,
good
mate.
luck with that. It's just Jesse. He's playing this heavy farm core here, and then without having the Queen of Pain having a good start, you're forced to have those pounces that earlier he missed. If he had hit 1 or 2 of those pounces on the Weaver, gotten that solo kill, maybe he could have had his Shadow Blade by now and going around the map. But that's not the case. And now Newbee.
Yep. That is very true. And into Roshan, Newbee go with a DD on How and the chilling touch out from Kaka. compLexity considering grouping up around this Roche pit, but they've been rustled. There's observables every inch of the way, and Swindles, he jumps on here, the relocate jumps as well, but the Chrono stops it! KP, he holds in Hanskin, the jump on Chessy's well back onto a move, the Sonic Wave is good from Lift, the time that's back up from How clears up 2! Oh, compLexity, I think this is where you call GG, mates. I think this is where you just say, you know what, this game is bloody well over, lads, because they've pretty much been wiped again. Z-Freak is the last man standing, and he's limping himself away, tail between legs. Nick's Assassin, he can't do a damn thing.
Well, it would be 3-2-2, but it's only 2-2-3. So
it's backwards. It's backwards.
It's backwards, exactly.
Yeah.
And
there
that's just, yep, this game is just ass backwards now for Z-Freak too. Oh, he's dead in
No,
the grave.
Oh my god, no, please. Oh dear.
Oh.
Right, I'll tell you now, I've missed 3 kills this game out of the 26, and all 3 have been on Z-Freak at the bottom lane. I don't know. I've got a mental block. The bottom lane doesn't exist to me.
I casted it while you missed it though. That doesn't really count. So it doesn't count, alright?
Thanks. You're my savior. You're my savior. So Diffuser Blade nearly done for the Faceless Void. How he's got, you know, more money than God right now. Lincoln Sphere, 2 grand in the bank. Limp, he's, well, not looking too hot at this point with Treads and a Rev of the Magi. And Swindles tanks up even more with the hood on top of that mech. But is there a momentum shift here for compLexity? Is there a way, is there an item, is there a move, is there some scenario in the game you can see, apart from Newbee diving Fountain and losing, you know, 10 heroes in a row, that compLexity can come back into this?
Well, if they had a Lion on their team, maybe, but Nick's Assassin, who's really underfarmed and underleveled, you're at a situation where Queen of Pain has to have an Orchid and Slark has to have a Shadow Blade, where they can go around and start setting up for 2 or 3 man hit squads around the map, but that's going to take a long time. They're just going to have to try and find to keep away. That's the problem with compLexity. They just keep on trying to fight Newbee instead of just playing keep away and trying to farm up your items. So and it's also just Newbee playing really good this game where they're pressuring, catching them off guard. A lot of these smoke gangs have been perfect, and compLexity just playing a little bit too aggressive when they can farm their items.
There's a gem over on Move. They didn't quite see the Nick Assassin, but they'll jump on Limp and the Ice Blast is perfect on the 2. The Chrono lands down into Swindles. Catches Hanskin as well as he tethers himself in, but Jesse, he is the first port of call here. He's popping Shadow down to try and fight through this, but he pops. The Ice Blast shatters him, and it's over. Game number 1 goes to Newbee. 2 to 27. It's about to be 28. Swindles is going to die before the game ends. But game number 1, an absolutely devastating loss there for compLexity, but a breezy, simple win for Newbee.
Oh yeah, that's that top 4 potential that we talk about at this event for Newbee. That's just scary. And compLexity, we talked about it. They looked on